Okay, so getting back into our coverage over Identity Crisis, we're going to cover another tie-in. Now, this tie-in is really more about the idea of Tim Drake dealing with the death of his father, Jack Drake. You see, when it came to the earlier parts of Identity Crisis, in the 5th chapter of the main storyline, we saw Captain Boomerang being able to kill off Jack Drake. Now, Jack was able to also kill off Captain Boomerang. But either way, Jack is now dead. And so for Tim Drake, it's really him trying to deal with the fact that his father is gone. But also the Teen Titans do have a few more tie-ins that takes place after the end of Identity Crisis. Really, we'll cover those tie-ins after we finish the main storyline. But getting into the opening pages for today's video, we do pick up with Tim Drake. Now, the first section of this video does take place 1 week prior from the death of Jack Drake. And so you have Tim right now at the moment just watching Starfire and Cyborg having a conversation. Now, when it comes to their conversation, it's really more a Starfire saying she's going to leave the team. And the reason why, because there was a story arc where you have the Teen Titans travel 10 years into their future. And when they did that, well, they come to find out that in 10 years, a lot of things are going to happen. It was a somewhat darker future than what they had expected, but the Batwoman in that reality told the Titans that they need to look out for Dick Grayson. And so for Starfire, because she is the ex-fiance for Dick Grayson, she wants to make sure that he is okay. And so it's her kind of just leaving the team for the time being to make sure that Dick Grayson is okay. But right after she does leave, you then have Cyborg be confronted by Robin. Now, this is Cyborg kind of finding out that Robin needs a small break from the team as well, only for a week. Now, we already know why, because, hey, it's the death of his father. His dad died in the 5th chapter of Identity Crisis. But the rest of the Titans don't know that, because when it comes to the Titans, they don't all share their secret identities. So no one really knows that Robin's real name is Tim Drake. But either way, he does take a leave of absence. Now we jump over to the present day and we do pick up with Tim Drake. Now Tim Drake is just standing at the grave of his father. Now for Tim Drake, it's really more the idea of him understanding what Bruce Wayne had gone through in the past, the whole idea of losing both of his parents. Now for Tim, he lost his mom back in the 1990s, I want to say, in the early 1990s of him being Robin. But when it comes to Jack Drake, Jack was around for a good while in DC Comics. And so for Tim, it's all like, oh, so now I know what Bruce feels like, because now I no longer have both of my parents by my side. It's just me. Now, for Tim, he's lucky that he does have Bruce, but we have not reached that point for Tim yet. For right now, it's Tim kind of realizing that he's alone. He's by himself at the moment. Now we're going to shift our focus over to the Electrocutioner. Now he's actually being brought into the middle of Identity Crisis, but kind of picking up where we left off at the very beginning of this actual event, because we do see him paying a visit over to St. John's Hospital to pay a character known as Bolt a visit. Now when it comes to Bolt, he was hired to receive some kind of suit from 2 teenage boys, but unfortunately, Homeboy got seriously injured when it came to him getting that job done. And so now it's up to the Electrocutioner to pick up where Bolt had left off at. And so he is there to ask Bolt, hey, I need to know what exactly happened to you so that I can be ready when I go on this mission to pick up where you left off at, because you failed the mission and we still got to complete the mission so that we're able to get paid, because both guys are working for a character known as the Calculator. Now we kind of transition over to Titan's Tower, and we do learn that the rest of the Titans don't truly know that Tim Drake's father had died. It's Tim Drake just trying to shut out everyone else around him, but also shut down his feelings as well, to hopefully continue on as a hero. Now here comes the big problem though, because sooner or later, all those emotions are going to erupt out of him at the wrong time. But it's Tim at the moment just trying to move on with his life with the idea of his dad now being dead. Now I want to jump over to Raven. The reason why, because Raven and Wonder Girl at this point in DC Comics, when it comes to the Titans, they have become close friends. And so it's also Raven trying to now live a normal life away from the idea of being the daughter of a demon. Now, you do have Beast Boy walk into her room and kind of see the different things she's trying to achieve for herself as trying to be a normal girl in the world of DC Comics, and he kind of makes a few jokes, and it really does tick off Raven a lot. But it's Beast Boy still kind of wanting her approval, but also wanting to kind of bond with her as well, become close with her. But either way, he is actually kicked out of her bedroom by both of the girls. Now, I want to shift our focus back onto Robin, because you have Tim Drake just still on his own, but then he's confronted by Superboy, Connor Kent, not Jonathan Kent. Now, for Connor Kent, Connor does tell Tim that he knows that, like, hey, listen, I heard what happened, that your father died. Now, the only reason why Connor knows because Batman told Superman and Superman told Superboy. And so this is Connor saying, you need me in your corner. You need that friend to talk to, like you helped me when it came to me finding out that I am technically part Lex Luthor, part Superman clone. Either way, you have Tim still want to shut everybody out. He does not want to talk to anybody, or really try to use his feelings to kind of move on from the idea that his father is now dead. But while you have the two boys talking, you then have Cyborg say, hey, listen, we got to go over to Opal City, because with the elongated man on the sideline, still dealing with the fact that his wife was killed in the early parts of Identity Crisis, we got a new mission in his town to cover for him. And so you have our heroes lead to go take care of that mission. But then we jump over to Opal City, where we do pick up with two young boys who are currently playing with a Lex Luthor power suit. Now, this is the same power suit that Bolt was supposed to receive at the very beginning of Identity Crisis. But either way, the two boys are currently playing with the suit. Now, while they are doing that, they are then confronted by the Electrocutioner. Now, he is there to say, like, hey, I came here for that suit. So I'm going to go ahead and attack you guys to get that suit to complete my mission. But while he's trying to fight against the two young boys, he's then confronted by the Teen Titans. Now, the rest of the book is really more of the Teen Titans fighting against the Electrocutioner. Now, while trying to fight against them, we do have another character arrive in the middle of the battle, and that would be the character known as Warp. Now, when it comes to Warp, he's only here for one page, but he has the ability to open up portals to allow him to use those portals as a way to teleport. And so he was able to teleport in the middle of the battle, grab the suit, and disappear just like that. Now, we do learn the two bad guys are now working together at all. That matter of fact, Warp works for somebody else. But either way, he's now gone with the Lex Luthor suit. Now, for Tim Drake, in the middle of the battle, he kind of goes a tad bit off the line. What I mean by that statement is that he lets his emotions get a hold of him, because out of nowhere, a comment is made about his father being basically dead, right? And so you have Tim get so upset, he begins to beat down on the Electrocutioner, like beating him down, to only be stopped by the rest of the Titans. And so that is when he realized he has to tell the Titans what he is going through. And so he says, okay, guys, listen, I'm sorry to tell you this, but my father is dead. And they realize this man needs somebody to talk to. Now, there are two different epilogues we have to cover before we move into the rest of the tie-ins for Teen Titans after the ending of the main storyline of Identity Crisis, because now we jump over to Lex Luthor. And for Lex Luthor, we do learn that Bolt and also the Electrocutioner, were both working for a character known as Calculator. Now, Calculator is trying to be like the oracle for the bad guys, being able to give all the info they need for their different missions for a price, but also he can hire people to do different jobs across the world. Now, Lex did hire the calculator, but apparently hired somebody else as well to get more bad guys out there to get his suit back. But now he has it, and now his goal is to continue to supposedly help his son, Superboy. Now, the last epilogue is going to lead into the story we're going to cover at the end of Identity Crisis, where we pick up with Green Arrow. Now, for Green Arrow, it's just him being a hero, but also trying to make a call over to Teen Titans because, well, somebody, one of his sidekicks, is going to be joining the Titans very soon. But while on the phones with the Titans, he is then attacked from behind by Dr. Light. And this is where we're going to end today's comic book video. So please leave me a like down below and subscribe. But guys, see y'all next time. Later.